Today we're going to be pruning a Rugosa Rose. The principles of pruning this are going to be the same as any other kind of rose, the tea roses, the hybrid roses, the Austins. So you can see we're in the middle of May. It's pretty leafed out now, but a shrub rose will be fine. The other roses, you probably want to do them a little sooner in the spring. Okay, so I'm going to start with just kind of cleaning it out. We want lots of air. We want our flowers to be on the outside of the shrub. So I'm going to start with getting anything that is clearly dead out of here. And then I'm also going to focus on taking a lot of the oldest wood out and rejuvenate the shrub because it'll keep growing from the bottom. So, and anytime I'm cutting to where there's a bud that's going to continue, you want to make sure that that bud is facing towards the outside of the plant because you don't need to have flowers growing on the inside of the plant.
What are you taking out there?
As with any sort of rejuvenation pruning, you want to make sure that if there's previously pruned trunks and stems and things at the bottom that haven't had any growth on them, that you get them cleaned out as much as possible. Just to improve. You always want as much airflow into the center of the plant as possible, especially on certain types of plants, roses included, that can be susceptible to fungus and bacterial infections, because those infections will do well with poor airflow. Basically, I've got most of it cleaned out now. What I'm doing now is just going through, getting any little bits that are dead out, anything that is crossing, so growing from the outside of the plant through the middle. And then just overall looking at the shape of it and seeing if I want to take anything else off. And you know, I've varied my heights of my branches so it doesn't look like it's something that's been hedged out. And I'm always making sure, even if there isn't something growing, that I'm pruning to a bud that is going to grow on the outside of the plant. You can prune them a lot harder, especially if it's earlier in the spring. And if this was a sort of like a hybrid tea rose or the more sort of traditional type of roses, then I would be pruning this down to 3 to 5 buds off the ground. Rugosa roses, they can be pruned as hard or as light as you want to. They're shrub rose, so they kind of will just keep growing. Carpet roses are another one that you could just do to kind of keep the center of them healthy and keep them kind of in the area you want them, but they don't require sort of yearly pruning. The hybrid teas and those type of roses typically need to be done every spring. So.